Hi, I'm Dr. B, Psychiatric Nurse Practitioner, and today I'm going to be talking about love and boundaries with your grown children. So this is a new topic for me because my youngest is 20. She is disabled, so I will be taking care of her for the rest of her life, or my life. But and then I have the older children. So total, we had 7 kids, and we've lost 2. If you know anything about my story, we lost Johnny in a drowning accident, and Reggie died as a result of complications from DERPLA. And so, but all my kids are grown. I'm done with that raising my kids period of time. And so I'm learning what that means and how to do that successfully, right? So I've had a couple conversations with my mom because I've always felt super close to her, and I wanted this kind of family that everybody lived close, everybody came over on Sunday afternoons and ate dinner and had this happy, close relationship. And honestly, that's not what's going on with my family right now. It's not what I expected or wanted as my children grew up. And I have 5 grandchildren, and love having my grandchildren over, and even got like a spa pool in the backyard so that the kids had something to do when they came over. And there's just right now in our life, there is conflict between the siblings, conflict with me and some of my grown children. Not even true conflict, just not what I wanted. This, happy family that enjoyed spending time together, right? And so I've really had to meditate on that and think about that and kind of process. And some of it is grief, and some of it goes back to, I was afraid that when Reggie died, that the family would fall apart. And I'm almost creating that in my negative thought pattern. So I had to nix that. Like, this is a separate thing. We all have to grieve Reggie. Reggie had a very important part of the family. But we're still a family, and we still love each other. And we are going to grow together. But as a parent of grown children, I realized, first of all, I have to let go of control. We, as parents, when we're parenting our kids, we have we try to have control over their choices, their behavior, and as an adult, we need to give them that freedom, obviously, to make those choices. But even when those choices are not what we think, or as the parent, is best for them, and respecting their decisions as adults, and finding that balance of love and boundaries. And so it has come up in my relationships with my grown children several times in the last 6 months. I think it just kind of, everything is coming to a head. And just me personally being able to let go. One of the things that I talk about a lot when I'm dealing with patients is you have 2 choices when you hit a disappointment or an expectation that's not met. You can address it, or you can let it go. And if you let it go, you need to truly let it go. Because a lot of times I think we say we're letting something go, but inside we're still ruminating, inside we're still bothered by it. And in those cases, it needs to be addressed. But when we're talking about our relationship with our grown children, we need to find a balance between love and boundaries. And with one of my kids, I had to put up a boundary recently. And it was that there's this part of her life that she is not ashamed of, and she actually wanted to share it with me. I had a hard time with that personal decision of hers, and I had to come to terms with, this is her choice. She's happy with this choice, But I also was able to put up a personal boundary of, we both know that I know this, but I don't want to talk about it all the time. And I don't know, we could ask her. I think the conversation went well. I think that we have gotten closer related to that. But another thing that I do with my kids, I've always done, is when they hurt my feelings, I never tell them. And then when they'll leave or not come around for a while, and then when they come back, I pretend like nothing happened. And recently I needed to put up a boundary with another of my grown children and say, I need you to apologize before I speak to you again. Like, this was crossing a line of hurt and disrespect. And I hope that's good. That hasn't completely played out as far as we have not been able to reconcile that situation. But I hope that in me setting that personal boundary that protected my heart and loving my grown children, loving them wherever they are. We have so many young patients that come in, either late teen, early adult, and they're making decisions for their life that maybe their parents adamantly disagree with. We have patients who their children, the patient is choosing to be transgender, or another choice that maybe the parent is adamantly in disagreement with. We've got to learn to love and accept. That doesn't mean we have to personally change, but we have to accept where they are, accept the decisions that they want to make, and move forward with that. Because if your child doesn't feel loved by you, even into their adulthood, just sit and think for 1 second. If I thought my mother didn't love me or wasn't proud of me, that would hurt so bad. And so that's what we're saying to our children when we adamantly disagree with one thing in their life. So finding that balance between love and boundaries, and expressing love by being available. My kids could call me at any time of the day and need me or need to talk, and I'm going to stop and listen and not make it about me and what I need. I know both times when Johnny died and when Reggie died, all I wanted to do was talk to my mom, right? So being there, available, is the biggest thing for adult children. And then allowing them to blossom into what God has planned for them. Even if you think it's not in God's will, you don't know. You don't know how that story is going to play out. And so I just challenge those of you out there with adult children that maybe you're, struggling with your relationship. Don't stop working on it. But remember, there's a balance between love and boundaries. And don't cut them off with your strict boundaries in your mind. That, love and, maybe some boundaries to protect your heart, but not, cut off that relationship. So I hope today that you were challenged to think about, how can I improve my relationship with my grown children? And if it has been a while since you talked to them, give them a call and find out how they're doing. Share if you know someone that is struggling with, how to have a better relationship with their grown children and how to have that balance between love and boundaries. This channel is all about becoming mentally stronger. And so subscribe. Each week we're putting out 1 to 2 videos that just take little pieces of those things to move you forward to be mentally strong. You are mentally strong.